So everything's shut here again in Bahrain because the cases were rising so quick and rapidly. So I just got myself a glass of wine. Take some VFC time. But it's just stuck inside now, stuck in the houses for a couple weeks till June 14th. And things might start opening again, depending on how these cases go. So I figure it's a good time for some Q&A with VFC again. I got this question, what kind of sunglasses are these that I had on in the first one? And to be honest, usually I wear the Ray-Bans, but every time I go swimming and there's waves, I lose the freaking Ray-Bans. So these, to be honest, are like $30, $40. I don't even know what kind of brand they are, but they look good. And that's all that matters. Ah, yeah. I asked quite a lot, what's my favorite hike when I was based in Washington State in the Pacific Northwest out there? I gotta say, the Enchantments. Enchantments was an incredible experience. Yeah, it comes out to over 20 miles. Especially if you go off trail and looking around. Nearly a 5,000 foot gain, most of that in Asgard Pass, which is 3/4 of a mile. In that 3/4 of a mile, you're gaining 2,000 feet. So that's the ass kicker part of the hike. But it's one of them challenging things, but it's mind over matter, one step at a time, and you get to the top. But it's an incredible feeling, and you just turn back and look where you came from, and you can't help but get teary-eyed because it's amazing. So after my last Q&A, I got asked for my favorite beach in Portugal because I mentioned the ones I like in Spain, Greece, but I didn't really hit Portugal too much. And that's a tough one because there's so many beautiful beaches in Portugal. You got that Benagil beach cave for the cliff jumping, and that cave swimming out there is something special too. But you can't do that shit hungover though because of the currents, and you get really tired. At least a friend told me that. I never tried to swim out there hungover myself. In Carvalho Beach, Carvalho's got a few cliff jump spots you can see from the video. Marinha Beach with the double arches that have been eroded into the cliffside, and you get a long strip of beach with the cliffs looking down over the beach. A bunch of coves and rocks. You can actually do some hiking back in there, and then you can jump into the whirlpool over by the by the arches. I think Marinha might be the favorite, but for cliff jumping it's got to be Carvalho because you got a few cliffs there you can jump from, varying heights. You always get some waves, you get a nice vibrant crowd in there, and the beach is tucked into a cove in the cliffside. I got asked also last week, which stocks do I hold? A few highly speculative stocks I got right now. Of course, I still got Celsi, CVM. I've traded in and out of that one for years, and they're due to release data on a phase 3 trial, the largest trial ever been conducted for head and neck cancer. And it's a cancer immunotherapeutic vaccine treatment, and it's administered before standard of care treatment. So it trains the body's immune system to fight the cancer, which if you follow VFC Stockhouse, like 10, 15 years ago, I was following companies like that. It was really interesting to me. Maybe we can use the body's own immune system to fight cancer instead of ravaging the body with all these radiation treatments and chemical treatments. Imagine if there was something where the body could fight the cancer itself with the immune system. And that's what Celsi is after. Traded from pennies up to a few dollars, back to pennies. It hit $40 earlier this year, and now it's right around 20. And if those results are good, it's probably, it's going to be at least a 5-bagger, I'd imagine. People predict a lot more than that, but conservatively, I think a 5-bagger in a short period of time. NWBO, I'm holding for the same reason. That thing's traded all over the place for the better part of a decade. Northwest Biotherapeutic. That company's got the DC vac, treats glioblastoma, but they're due to release top-line data pretty soon too. So it'll be interesting to see. And again, probably a 5-bagger at least on positive results. These are groundbreaking new therapies if they work. And I'm holding a handful of speculative shares of AABB, Asia Broadband. It's the crypto game, but they're buying gold to back their crypto tokens. A new angle to this big cryptocurrency thing. Plus it's fun when you got nothing to do because you're on freaking quarantine again and the whole country is locked down and shut. You just sit in your backyard drinking wine. Gotta have something to do. You could only drink so much wine, you could only read so many newspapers. So you got some stocks to look at? Ah, yeah. And there's still a shitload of lasagna in my freezer. So how did I get the name VFC? That's a story for itself, but that's one I'm gonna save for another time. Ah, yeah, right now, just gonna drink my wine. Because it tastes so fine. Until next time, ah, yeah.